Protect yourself and your family from unexpected challenges. Consider accident-only income protection. Click the link in the description to find out more.
Hey, Greg, you wish for a little more action?
I do wish for more action, Mike.
As you wish, Greg.
Now this is nice.
You got 2 wishes left.
Boxing King Media in association with Riyadh Season. Delighted to have with me boxing royalty here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Antonio Tarver. Antonio, great to see you here. When did you get in?
Thank you. Just got in yesterday, man. It was a long flight from Florida, but we made it and happy to be here, man. The people so far has been very receiving, and the hospitality has been second to none.
First time in the Kingdom?
First time here. I was in Dubai about earlier this year, but first time in Saudi Arabia.
What's your first impression of what you've seen, how you've been treated?
Just first class, man. That's one word I'll use. First class all the way around. It's been beautiful. They know how to lay out the red carpet, and as you can see, they know how to put on a heck of an event.
You're quite a vocal person in the sport of boxing. I hear a lot of your interviews after the fights. What do you make of mixed martial arts fighters? People like Ngannou, who's in his peak. People like Fury, who's in his peak in boxing, having an event like this.
It makes sense because of the two individuals that's involved. When you look at Tyson Fury, his personality is off the chart, you feel me? And Ngannou, when you look at his story, man, you gotta give a guy like that a chance, if nothing else, you know? African kid came, only had a dream, and he made all of his dreams come true. And he's still undefeated and unbeaten inside any ring or octagon. So tomorrow's gonna be very interesting. But I think when Tyson Fury signed that $200 million contract with USYK, things got a little bit dangerous for Ngannou because it's serious business now.
Obviously, as you mentioned, the USYK fight is signed. It's going to happen in December. Would you say that's his toughest fight for Fury out of Wilder, Klitschko, the two names that stand out?
Just a different animal. You know, he's a guy that has a different ability. He don't have the heavyweight power that we're used to seeing, but his skill set is off the chart. You know what I mean? And skill beat will. So you got to give USYK, who's unbeaten Olympic gold medalist and has the majority of all the belts, you got to give him a chance. But he's fighting a giant, and Tyson Fury has shown to be the biggest and the best of them all thus far. So in a fight like that, you got to lean toward the bigger and stronger guy. But if anybody can beat Tyson Fury, it's a guy with USYK skill and ability.
The fight that we wanted to see for many years was Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. There was once upon a time both those fighters had all the belts, both those fighters were undefeated, and there was no network issues. Is that fight getting to a stage where it's going to get too late and we're going to lose interest?
I think Wilder and AJ are still in the mix for a big fight. But, you know, they just got to look good when they win and look, you know, impressive. And that fight can be good at any time because there are two big names that are locked in the boxing game. When you talk about heavyweight boxing, you got to mention AJ and Deontay Wilder. I would love to see both of those guys fight. But even the winner of that fight still has to face Tyson Fury in order to be called the king of the heavyweight division.
Everyone say Fury is the greatest of today's generation. Some say he's one of the greatest of all time. Where do you rank him? Where do you think? I know it's hard to compare in the 90s or the 80s, the Foremans, the Frasers, the Alis, even the Mike Tysons, even though he was a small heavyweight. Is it easy to rank him amongst those greats?
No, he's definitely amongst those greats. Definitely, because no one could have done what he did if he wasn't great. You know, to get off the ground, or get off the mat twice against a guy like Deontay Wilder and end the fight in knockout, I mean, that's type of legendary type of stuff when you can do things like that. And when you look at his energy, man, it's contagious. And I think we need more of that good energy traveling through boxing. I mean, these guys got to be on the right frequency in the game, man. And I think that's what's been missing for a long time.
Looks like Errol Spence Crawford rematch will happen. Derek James has come out and said, look, Errol Spence won't look depleted at 154. 154 suits him. What are your thoughts? Floyd Mayweather said, look, Errol's a 160 or 168.
Weight does make a difference, but when you're looking at the way Terrence Crawford went about his business, I think 54 is going to help Spence, I don't know if 54 is enough to still beat a Terrence Crawford, but we will see. I think that fight is interesting because of the weight. People are going to have to see it again. They didn't really believe what they saw the first time. So we want to see Spence healthy and strong, and now see how he match up against a solid Crawford. I still think in favor of Crawford in that fight. But hey, you never know in boxing. That's why we got to fight the fights, man.
Just a final one. Who are your favourite fighters in the sport of boxing right now? And out the ones up and coming, no matter where they are in the world, who are the ones that you say potential there?
Terrence Crawford for sure is one of my favorites. I've seen Terrence develop, and I've seen him become undisputed twice. There's a lot of young fighters right now that really haven't made their mark that I'm really high on. Even some guys that are still in the amateurs, I got my eye on because I believe they seem to separate themselves from the rest. But Terrence Crawford right now have the game on lock. And I like Canelo. I liked what I saw his last fight. I'm really anxious to see Gervonta Davis solidify himself as the very best in his weight class. And the only way he can do that is fight some of the bigger names covered around his weight class. And those are going to be legendary type of fights. And if Gervonta Davis can still be standing atop once the smoke clears, I mean, it may be his era at the end of the day.
Tonio, I appreciate your time. Enjoy the weigh-in, enjoy the festivities of the Kingdom, and hopefully we'll see you here more often.
And I hope I come back in December for sure.
Thank you for speaking to Boxing King Media.
Protect yourself and your family from unexpected challenges. Consider accident-only income protection. Click the link in the description to find out more.
Hey, Greg, you wish for a little more action?
I do wish for more action, Mike.
As you wish, Greg.
Now this is nice.
You got 2 wishes left.